Well, next week, the most expensive maritime salvage operation in history is due to begin. Weather permitting, crews will try to remove the Costa Concordia cruise ship from a granite ledge in the Mediterranean. Well, 32 people died when the luxury vessel ran aground off the island of Jhee-Lee-O on January 2012. The man in charge of the Costa Concordia removal project is a South African. Nicholas Sloan joins us now on the line from Italy. And afternoon, Captain Sloan, and thank you so much for joining us. A big project then gets underway on Monday. Tell us what is going to be happening.
Well, the first step is we're doing the final checks. We've got quite a substantial checklist that we're going through at the moment. We hope to complete that late tomorrow afternoon or early Sunday. And then we'll go into the pre-tension phase. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to roll the ship upright onto artificial platforms that have been installed underneath her on the side of the subsea mountain slope. And then once she's upright, then we'll stabilize her and look at the damage that's been occurred on the starboard side. But to do that, she's a very large ship. She's 3 football fields long, and she's must be the largest vessel to be power-buckled in history. And we've had to come up with some unique, innovative ways of controlling the power-buckling forces on the ship's sides, but especially in the location that she is here on the side of Jhee-Lee-O Island. We'll start most of the early hours of the morning, 6 o'clock, the last ferry leaves for the day. And we have 3 steps of the power buckling operation. The first step is the breakout force, where we have to break her off the rocks that she's lying on. And then the second phase would be putting her upright until she gets past the critical stage. That's about another 5 hours. And after that, gravity starts taking over, so all the pulling forces get reduced. And we have to bring her gently down by down the buoyancy tank that we've placed on her side until she's resting on the platforms and the artificial seabed.
How confident are you, Captain Sloan, that you'll be able to pull all of this off?
Well, let's say 14, 16 months ago, I think people were a lot more nervous than they are now. But the more we've learned about the ship has enabled us to put more mitigating factors in place. So initially we were going to have 3 platforms that she was going to roll onto. Now we've had 6 platforms. So those platforms are 1.5 times the length of a football field. Where the bow is, she's hanging over the reef into almost like over a cliff on a subsea cliff in the water. So the bow is the biggest concern, but now we've built and installed what we call a neck brace or a blister tank, and it goes around the flare of the bow. And now that we have that established, that's going to protect her as we roll it over. So it's almost like an injured patient with a spinal or suspected spinal damage, that you have to stabilize the neck and put a neck brace on, and then you hold the neck and the head as you roll it up. And that actually helps us minimize any further damage to the internal structures of the ship. So now that we've got that in place, we're pretty confident that, you know, she's been through a lot. It's almost 20 months since she first came down on these reefs. It's about time that we get her upright. So next week, Monday's the target, depending on the weather. And we hope that by sunset on Monday, that she's upright and in a stable condition.
Yeah, we wish you luck. I mean, I've been reading a lot on this, and you are described as being the best in the world at this. I mean, tell us, for other young South Africans watching, how you got into this line of work, so perhaps you might serve as an inspiration to them.
Well, basically, there's a really large team here. We have over 500 people. There's a large diving, welding, fabrication, engineering, naval architects, logistics, finance, just about everything you can think of in a normal business. And we've got the back office function to support an operation that's on the side of this island. I started my career with SAF Marine and doing general cargo ships and container ships. And then after the Costa Concordia ship fire off the Cape in 1983, I decided that as SAF Marine had a salvage division called SAF Tug, that I'd transfer and get into the John Ross and the Baltimore salvage tugs. So That's how it happened. Definitely, yeah, there's no such thing as the best salvage master in the world. It's just you'd like to be considered as quite a good one. And there's a lot of good ones around the world. We've got quite a big team here. We have 6 other salvage masters that are looking at different aspects of the operation. So, yeah, just go to sea and see if you enjoy it, and then get into salvage. But we've got quite a few South Africans on the team. On rotation, there must be between 40 and 50 South Africans that we've had here. Mostly on the diving side, assistant salvage masters, engineers. Okay. So it's quite good to be able to show that, the South African flag on a project like this.
That's fantastic, and thank you so much for chatting to us. We wish you luck then on Monday, and we'll try and get an update from you next week. That was Captain Nicholas Sloan. He is the salvage Costa Concordia removal project in Italy.
News that moves. eNCA.com.